Alright, welcome to this tutorial on drawings and title blocks in Solidworks. Um, so first off, we're going to need to make a drawing for our 3D model that we've created. So to do that, just go to File, go to New, Drawing, hit OK. You're going to be greeted with this dialog box. Our part is relatively small, so A size and size will be excellent for us. Later, we're going to go in and save our custom title block, and this is where we will open it. Open our drawing sheet for future use. We're going to hit OK here. Double click on our document on our model on the left and just put our first view in. Usually this is it automatically does a front on view based upon how you've modeled it. We can go to the left for a side view, go to the right for another side view to the top and bottom. I think we're going to need a bottom view as well as a orthogonal or isometric view. That should be fine. Once you have your views placed onto the drawing sheet, you can move them around. SolidWorks conveniently automatically aligns them for you, so you do not have to do that manually, which is nice. So this is looking pretty nice. Maybe we can move that one down a bit so we can see it more easily. All right, so the first thing we're going to need in our drawing is to make sure that it has all of our dimensions. And so right now we're looking pretty large, and it doesn't look like we have a lot of room for dimensions. So we can go down and change our scale to 1:1 to make it smaller. We could do 1:2 to make it even smaller, but I feel as if 2:1 maybe is too large. Well, maybe not. We'll keep it as a 2:1 for now. We can add in dimensions at this point, so we can do Smart Dimension and manually add in lengths just like we would on our model. Or we could do model items, entire model, and hit OK, and it automatically generates some dimensions for us. Now, a lot of the time, it doesn't really know the proper dimensions to put in here. Sometimes it's helpful, but most of the time, you're going to have to go in and manually change this to be what you want it to be, which is, to be expected. A lot of times, your design intent is, you'd want to go in and manually do it anyway. So once we get all of our dimensions, I'm not going to put them all in now, but you can get the gist of how you would go in and select everything that you want to put a dimension for. You can use Smart Dimension again if you want to do specific things like from this edge to this edge. You can just select the vertices and add those drawings in. So next up, what we're going to need to do before we get into our title block, one more important thing that will be helpful for screws and threads, or maybe things that you don't have exact information for built in yet, you can just go up here to Note and add in a note. So let's say we want a note for our threads, and we can type in exactly what we want this to say. So whatever our thread is, UNC, maybe 1/420. And you can put your text. You have symbols over here you can insert, such as tolerance symbols. And you can also link this to properties like the name of the model and different things. That linking feature is going to come in handy when we start using our title block feature. So now that we have our drawing, we're going to essentially need to start looking at how to make our custom title block. So this looks like a lot of information in space that we don't really need. So we go over to Sheet Format, hit Edit Sheet Format, and now we have sort of like our own sub-drawing within the drawing. So say, for instance, we don't really need any of this information in here. We can just delete it. Any information on this side, we can also delete. And those lines, it's okay, we can draw those back. Say we want tolerances. We feel like that's important. We want our unless otherwise specified tolerance. We don't really, I feel like we'll probably need material and finish. Obviously, we need to keep our warnings not to scale. We don't really need any of the rest of this, for example. And so we can just select all of it and delete it. And if it's not letting you delete these, you can go up to Sketch, Trim Entities, and trim them away. Oops, we don't want to trim our border on our drawing. That's really important. We need to keep that where it is. Let's go back to Trim Entities and just make sure we don't hit that. All right, so next up, we're going to need to draw in the lines we do want. So we want a line across the top here, across the top here would be important. And then underneath here, of course, would be a good line. Underneath here would be a good line. And, you know, you can do this to your own discretion. But for now, we're just going to compartmentalize. All right, so there we go. We have our lines inserted. We can go ahead and, you know, line these up like we like, center them and everything. All right, so now, for example, it's convenient to put your own image in here if you're working with a school or a business. So what you can do is go to Insert Picture. You can select your picture from anywhere on your computer. And my picture doesn't have a background, so I can just select Transparency from File. Or, you know, if you don't want to have anything transparent, you don't have to select anything. You can scale this down to a good size. That size looks good for us. We can put it right here in this title block. All right, so we have our logo. We have our other tolerances. In here, we can add in our tolerances that we want for our entire project. So we could, for a 3-place decimal, maybe one thou, maybe 10 thou there. And, you know, you can add in, customize this all you want. For material, if you want to, you can actually link this to a material property in your model. And I'll show you how to do that with this, for example. So for example, say I want this drawing number here, instead of being the name of, say if I have multiple drawings, say I want this drawing number to be the name of my sheet here. So if I want to rename my sheet to be first drawing, and I want that to show up on my title box automatically, I can go into here, select link to property, and I can go down to current document, and or actually model found here, and then selected component, right, like this. So then when you click on the property name drop down box, that's going to change what we see. Instead of clip sheet name, here it is, sheet name, and there's a bunch of different, you know, options here that you can link it to. But for us, clip first drawing is what we want there. First drawing is actually the name we wanted there. We didn't want the clip ahead of it, so we can just edit that, remove clip, and now when we change the name of our drawing, if we said second drawing here, it would automatically update in here. So that's how we do that. If it doesn't automatically update, there we go. You can just select it and it will automatically update. So right now it's a little too large, so we just select it and select a good font size and then drag it into position. All right, and so that's basically all you need to know to customize your own title box. So from here, we can just exit out of our title box editing application and move our drawing around to reflect our new title box location, make everything more aesthetically pleasing, like that perhaps. And there we go. Now say we want to make several drawings and we want all of our drawings to have the same title box. See how this creates it again? We don't want to have to create a new one for each drawing. So what we can do is go up to File, Save Sheet Format. And this is really convenient because you can save all those edits you just did to a certain file, and then when you open up additional drawings, you can have that same look picture, the same linkage that we made, and all of the same tolerances. So it's very convenient. So you can put your own name in here and save it. And now, if we want to open up a new drawing and create a new set of drawings, all with the same standard format, we can just do New Drawing, like we did before, or File, New Drawing, or Control N is a shortcut, and hit Browse right here. And then we can just browse to where we put our last, this is what we just saved, our last format, and it's now saved as our sheet format. So when we open it up, we have all of those previous things put in already automatically. We can put our drawing into here and, rename this to, UNCC, enter. And it automatically updates on our page when we rebuild it. So we can go to Edit, Rebuild, and it automatically updates there. And then when we make new drawings in this sheet format, all of them will have that same pre-made formatting at the bottom. All right, I hope this was informative and maybe not too long, but hopefully it can help you in your future endeavors.